Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today, and I am your host, Andy Lang. It is Friday. We're heading into a huge weekend across the board. We got MLB, PFL is tonight, UFC is tomorrow. We got WNBA and more. We got sharp plays lined up. We got angles to attack, everything you need to finish the week strong. So let's get into it, and let's set the tone for a winning weekend. Tokyo Brandon's going to join us, talk Cardinals and Guardians. We're going to do all around the world free plays. Marco's going to join us to talk Mariners, Rangers, and Fever in the Wings. Andrew Babakitis is going to join us to go over UFC 317 and what he's seeing from a bookmaker's perspective. And then Dan and I will break down the Bengals 9.5 season wins. Let us know what you think about the Bengals 9.5. Gianni is doing work for UFC this morning, so you guys are in for a treat. You're in for another one of Andy's Steam reports. I promise I won't fumble over this one. All right, let's talk about the game yesterday. Dan, did we have a winner for the exact score and the winner?
Just a bit outside.
I saw someone was really close. The final score was 4-0 and someone had 5-1. It was really, really close.
We've had a couple people. Bayou Bets has been one score away twice. So the swag bag just keeps getting bigger, Andy. The swag bag just keeps getting bigger for whoever finally gets it. So today, you got another chance.
Yeah, so what we do is we pick a game, one of the games that we talk about, and we'll have you put in the comments section after the show who's going to win in the exact score. If you win, you get free swag. If you end up hitting 3 at some point over the course of a year, you get to come on the show and host a segment with me. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's do the Steam report here. There's not a whole lot going in. The biggest move by far is in the WNBA. Indiana and Dallas. That line opened at 173.5. That thing has been bet all the way down to 168.5. So they are all over the unders in that game. The problem is you've missed the line movement. I would not recommend jumping on the under. A 5-point move in a game is really, really massive. They're also taking under on Minnesota and Atlanta, and there is good money on Phoenix over New York. Phoenix at home over the New York Liberty. The Liberty have been struggling, so it looks like a lot of people and sharps are looking to ride in the fade train of New York. Baseball, not a lot. I don't see any significant line moves. I guess the biggest one would be the Yankees. They opened at -210. They're all the way up to -267 at DraftKings. I'm seeing some under money on the Mets and the Pirates. I'm seeing over money on the Rays and the Orioles. And the biggest one other than that actually is under on the Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros. But other than that, it's a pretty calm day. So not a lot of games that I see a lot of sharp money on. So pretty tame day for the Steam report. So all right, guys, let's bring in Tokyo Brandon here, and let's talk about the Cardinals and the Guardians here. Brandon, how are you? We got Gray for the Cardinals. We got Ortiz for the Guardians. The Cardinals, big fat goose egg the last couple of games. The bats have gone completely ice cold. So I'm interested. Let's talk big picture real quick, and then let's talk about this game in particular. You see a team that just goes 2 games in a row without scoring a run. Are you saying, oh, they're ice cold, they're fade? Or are you saying, they're going to regress back? Maybe we look at an offensive explosion. What's your take on that situation?
Generally, my opinion is 2 games is not really enough to say that the team's not hitting. I like to look at maybe 10 days to a week or so to actually categorize it as a slump or hot, so to speak. Yes, I have the Cardinals ranked 13 out of 30 in batting, and that includes current form, last 10 days, last 30 days, and full season weighted to certain percentages. But actually, Cleveland's actually much worse. I have them ranked 25th out of 30. Cleveland's not hitting at all. Their bats are ice cold, and their bullpen is ice cold too. Cleveland's bullpen performing absolutely horribly right now. And that's where the Cardinals have a big advantage here in this matchup. Even though they're on the road, I have the Cardinals bullpen ranked 6. Sonny Gray is a guy who, generally speaking, I think the books give him a little too much credit. Don't get me wrong, he's a very good pitcher, but usually when you see Sonny Gray starting, you get lines like -160 and stuff. And I don't think he warrants that. But today, you're not actually getting that. I have a feeling it's because his ERA on the road is fairly bad. And Ortiz is actually not that horrible of a pitcher. I'm not a big fan of Ortiz, but yeah, you're getting a pretty good line for the Cardinals with number 6 bullpen and Sonny Gray on the mound, and they're actually hitting better than Cleveland despite their woes in the last couple of days. I do like the Cardinals here at -120, seeing it at -122, -120. I think Cardinals are pretty good value. As far as the side is concerned, I do like a particular prop in this game as well, if you'd like me to expound upon that.
You don't have to threaten me with a good time with a prop bet. Absolutely. You know me. I love my prop. And by the way, I love your term, the chronic walker. What a great market to jump on. So yeah, what's your prop in this one?
I've got a couple of sayings that on the Total Bases show that we do right before this show. We do it every weekday. I like chronic walkers. I coined the phrase toiling in mediocrity, and I've coined the phrase testicular fortitude. So a couple of phrases, even though I'm living in Japan, I still remember English a little bit. So Andy, let me tell you before I give you my prop on this, I have taken over the number 1 spot in 2025. I'm plus 70 units now. So WagerTalk decided to make a special for me. As you see in that text right there, you can get until the end of 2025, you can get my plays all access for about $2.80 a day. Pretty good value considering I'm the number 1 capper in 2025. 2024, 2022, and 2021. So 4 of the last 5 years, I've been number 1 among all the cappers. So grab that deal. There's also, if that is a little too long term for you, 1 week for $69 if you use code TB7 at my page at wagertalk.com. Let me get into the prop now that I like for this. Now, although I do like the Cardinals on the side here, I calculated some strikeout props here. No walks, no outs for this one. But Luis Ortiz is striking out 10 guys per 9 innings. And the Cardinals are striking out around 7 per 9. But if you look at Luis Ortiz's history against the Cardinals, he's striking out an average of about 4.6 per start. His strikeout prop is 4.5 right now. And I like the over. Luis Ortiz's strikeout prop over 4.5, I think, is a pretty good value bet here for this game. So I think I'm going to put a small play on that as well.
I love it. I love that you stick to a lot of the same categories. Those just have a lot of value. When you get to know a certain category over and over and over again, you know it better than the books at some point. So I think you do. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, you probably know the walks market better than the books that are putting them out. They're using, an algorithm that takes a bunch of things into place, but you have a little bit more edge on that because you know the situational spots. So
I could probably make some lines. I could probably make some lines and make a buck or two. I could probably do that in the KBO and the Japanese baseball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, before you kick me off, I want to tell people tomorrow, Saturday at noon Eastern, I'm going to do an hour live show on WagerTalk's YouTube channel. And I'm going to basically share my screen and open up my spreadsheets and stuff and share that with you and just go over a couple games for Saturday in the KBO, in Mexican baseball, and in Major League Baseball. So join me noon Eastern live on Saturday. I'm going to give out a couple of my 5% plays as well. I'm going to do a Name Your Tunes little competition there too in the hour. So I'll keep the people entertained.
Okay. Was there any other betting line, like storylines or things that have kind of surprised you for this year? I'm asking all the baseball cappers, like anything that, kind of stood out that's taken you off guard that we need to pay attention to moving forward?
Well, I'm surprised that the Dodgers are doing as well as they are with 7 of their starting pitchers injured. That's kind of surprising, but they just keep rolling. Their bullpen's not performing well at all either. So the Dodgers are surprising me. Another team that's surprising me is the Brewers. The Brewers are doing really well, and I think they actually have a very good chance to win their division. Man, they have a bunch of good young pitchers. I think one of them is going today. No, Quintana's going today. He's not young and he's not good.
No, he's not.
I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, they got one of their young pitchers going tomorrow. Man, the Brewers have a lot of young talent, and yeah, Priester. Brewers might surprise. And here's another thing. The Tigers have exploded, but I've said this on Total Bases several times. I expect the Reds to finish with a better record than the Tigers at the end of this season. Don't get me wrong, the Tigers are a pretty good team, but I think they're playing a little bit over their head. And aside from Skubal, I don't really like their starting rotation that much. I think the Reds might overtake the Tigers by the end of the season as far as records are concerned. So those are a couple of observations just off the top of my head.
Bold take. I like it. Congratulations on taking over the number one spot. I'm happy for you. I'm not happy you passed me,
hold it.
but I am happy for you. Anytime we have a successful handicapper, we got to celebrate the good. So congratulations. You can catch Tokyo Brandon on Total Bases along with Adam Trigger and Brian Leonard. That's every day, 9 a.m. Eastern time. All right, let's go all around the world and let's talk about some free plays. We're going to go to the WNBA first. We're going to talk the Valkyries and the Sky. Listen, I said I wanted to fade the Chicago Sky when they lost Cardosa. She's going overseas for a tournament. I'm a man of my word. We're going under 74.5 on the team total for the Chicago Sky tonight. Vandersloot is out. Cardosa is out for the Sky. The Valkyries sneakily been playing good defense. 5th best defensive team last 5 games. And they're playing with a slow pace of play last 5 games. Cardosa provides that big inside presence. I think they're going to struggle to score tonight. So give me the Sky under their team total. We're going to go to the Mariners and the Rangers. This is a Ralph Michaels special. Nerfy, no run first inning. The Mariners are on a 4-0 Nerfy run. Rangers are on a 5-0 Nerfy run. And the starters have whips of 0.92 and 1.02 last 3 starts. So this one sets up beautifully for a no-run first inning. And then we're going to go to the UFC. Here's an underdog. Let's take a look at Borshishev plus 140 over Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney has 3 minutes of cardio, okay? It's a hellacious 3 minutes of cardio, but after that, he's done. He just gives up. He knows he doesn't have any cardio. So Borshishev, all he has to do is weather that storm. The takedown is coming from McKinney. Borshishev just needs to survive. He can scramble and get to his feet. And if he survives that first 3 to 4 minutes, Borshishev is going to knock out McKinney. So I'm taking the plus money on a guy that only has 3 to 4 minutes of cardio. So those are today's free plays for all around the world. All right, right now you can get 7 days of all access plays from your favorite WagerTalk handicappers for just $69. It's less than $10 a day. You get every single sport. You get all percentages, MLB, UFC, WNBA, soccer, golf, PFL tonight. You can use this as flex access as well. You can stick with your favorite expert all week, or you can mix it up. You can choose one handicapper for 3 days, one handicapper for all. You can do different handicappers for each and every day, but we're marking that down to $69. It's a really, really good way to try out these flex picks and to try out some handicappers that you haven't normally tried out with. So myself personally, our 5% PFL best bet is still up. That goes off tonight. Our UFC pack for tomorrow is up. We're still maintaining that number 1 spot in MMA profit for 2025. These are plays we bet with our own money. Been a really, really good year for us in MMA. So this 5% best bet. Love this one, and we're 9-3 in MMA 5% play. So these have been very good to us. So, all right, let's bring in Marco D'Angelo. We're going to talk an MLB game and a WNBA game. If you guys could hit the like button. I'm serious. Hit the like button right now. Hit the like button. Marco, hit the like button. Thank you. All right, let's talk Mariners and Rangers here, Marco. We got Gilbert for Mariners, Eovaldi for the Rangers. How do you break down this MLB game?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Andy. When I broke it down, I was torn whether I was going to use the total or use the game because I actually kind of like both. You look at this Seattle team, after a 5-game stretch that saw Seattle go off offensively, they scored 47 runs over 5 games. And then the last 2 games, they've scored a grand total of 1 run. Texas returns home off of a 6-game road trip. Now, you've heard me so many different times talk about teams returning home from a road trip. I like to fade them. It's not as strong of an angle for me if they had the day before off. So they came home, had a day off, and then they played today. That's not as bad as coming home and playing the very next day. You have that day to do the normal things. I like to call the life things. You've been on the road for a week. Your kids want your attention. Your wife wants your attention, so forth. Those are distractions, good distractions, but they are distractions. And that's why I like fading teams when they do that. That's not the case tonight for Texas. So that has me looking at the Texas side. And the things that I like is they're also returning home to a big series. This is a divisional matchup. They need to continue to win. They got to get themselves back into the race. And tonight's one of those pivotal games because they're just 1 game under 500. I like that as a motivational aspect for a team. I don't know what it is, but psychologically, when you look up at the standings and you see you're 1 game from 500, little extra motivation to get back off of that non-losing set. And the last thing, and I know a lot of handicappers look at this the opposite way, but Nathan Eovaldi makes his return tonight coming off the injured list. He hasn't pitched since May 29th. Now, a lot of people say, okay, first start back. They don't like to take a pitcher. If it's a veteran pitcher and he's coming off the DL, I don't have a problem with it. And the reason for that is they've been there, they've done that, they know what to do. Mentally, they're totally prepared because they've worked their way back into shape to get back in the starting lineup. And that first game, maybe a little extra juice flowing because you've been anticipating your return. I'll go ahead and take him tonight. Logan Gilbert was another guy that was hurt. This is his 3rd start after missing nearly 2 months. He's given up 6 runs in his last 2 starts. But the encouraging part for him, and this is why I was kind of leaning to the total as well, and I'll share that, his strikeout to walk ratio, 16-1 the last 2 games. So he's rounding into form too. I like Texas. That's the official play here on the show today. But I wouldn't have a problem with the under in this game as well. So let's go ahead and take Texas officially on the show. If you want to put a little half a unit on the under as well, I'm okay with that.
Love it. Love it. Let's move to WNBA. You don't normally have a lot of WNBA plays. You're very, very selective with them. So, talk to us about how do you decide when you're as selective as you are with these WNBA plays? Like how many boxes does it have to check to make it a play for you?
Well, it is, like you said, the selectivity from me, but we're now that it's worked out. We're 38-14 the last 2 years. That includes 11-2 this year. We had a winner last night. It was the Washington Mystics. We had team total over 75.5. I was at the game, and we cashed that ticket with 2:26 left in the 3rd quarter. It's knowing the situations, Andy. I talked about it before. Because I do radio here in Las Vegas, the show that I do, the host of the show is also the play-by-play announcer for the Las Vegas Aces. So obviously the show is very heavy talk on WNBA action. So it got me entrenched in the WNBA. Started going to the games, ended up buying season tickets to the Aces. So I see all the teams come in and understand the different situations and how the teams play. And when I break down the game that we're going to talk about, it's understanding the difference in knowing where the value is at. So you're going to probably get, 3 to 5 plays a week from me in the WNBA. And it's that way in any sport. I am not married to the fact if, I have to have a baseball play every single day. I have to have a WNBA play every day. I only release 2 to 3 plays per day on average. That might be boring to some, but over the last 18 months, we've made 197 units. For me, less is more. I'd rather, instead of eating hot dogs and hamburgers every day, I'd rather have steak 3 times a week, and good ones. So, that's where we're at. We want quality over quantity.
Thanks a lot. Now I'm hungry. Way to go. I got to do the rest of the show on an empty stomach. Thanks a lot. All right. Well, you mentioned your hometown team. Let's talk my hometown team. We got the Fever and the Wings tonight. Wings. Now I'm even hungrier, Marco. Yeah, my Indiana Fever, they just the Caitlin Clark injury really kind of derailed them, and they're struggling. They're struggling to find themselves. How do you break down this Fever and Wings game tonight? Looks like 2.5 point spread and over under at 168.5. This was a monster move. Open at 173.5, now down to 168.5.
Well, it is a monster move, and it's the right move. And the reason for that, Andy, is the Indiana Fever are 2 different teams when Caitlin Clark is on the floor and when she's not. And what I mean by that, obviously we know that, she's, the budding star in the WNBA, but this team plays differently when she's on the floor versus when she's not. What I mean by that is the pace of the game. If you look at Indiana, in the 5 games that she missed earlier this season, this was the number of shots they took in those games: 63, 59, 59, 59, and 58. The 4 games, that was the 4 games before. When she came back, they averaged 72 shots per game when she's in the lineup. They're a totally different team pace-wise. So that's why you saw the line crash on the over-under once it's confirmed. We saw the big move yesterday over from the overnight line once it was announced she was officially out. And now today you're seeing it in the total. And what you saw last night with the Indiana Fever is they actually led through 3 quarters, but they ran out of gas in the 4th quarter. They got outscored 35-17 in the 4th quarter. And the reason that they ran out of gas is they are thin to start with. The team only played 9 players last night, but really it was 7 because the 8th and 9th player only played 4 minutes each. So when they got to the 4th quarter, simply ran out of gas. And why are they running out of gas? Well, look at what their schedule's been. This is going to be their 5th game in 9 nights. That's bad enough to start with, Andy. But it was all in different cities. They played a 3-game road trip where they bounced all over the place. Then they came home to play last night's game against the Sparks, and now they're right back out on the road tonight to Dallas. So what's all this mean for what I'm going to do? I'm taking the under tonight, but I'm not taking the full game. I'm taking the Indiana Fever team total under 85.5. And it's all about what I just said. They're going to slow the pace down. They don't move the ball. They don't take a lot of shots. And the reason is because they got to work harder to get those open shots, which takes you deeper into the shot clock. Plus the fact they don't want to run with the schedule that they've just played, because you'll see a repeat of last night and run out of gas in the 4th quarter. So for me, this play is all about understanding the chemistry of the team and what they do when they're at full strength and when they're not. And the play is under on the Indiana Fever team total.
I love the spot. I'm stunned at this 85.5 total. This one seems completely off kilter there. So I love this play. I have to tell you, Marco, a buddy called me the other night and he's like, "Hey, I'm down at the casino down in Evansville. Give me a play tonight." And it's like 9:30. So it's like, well, there's 1 game left on the board. You're taking the Valkyries over their team total. So they score 32 points in the 1st quarter and then 2 points in the next 5 minutes. And he's freaking out. And I was like, I forgot to tell you what it's like betting on WNBA teams. You'll have a 32-point quarter and then a stretch where they score 4 points. So, Marco, tell everyone what you have up for clients over at WagerTalk.
Well, guys, the deal to take advantage of right now is the 7-day package. You can grab an all-access package if you want to get my plays every day. And like I said, it's going to be my 2 to 3 best plays, whatever sport I find the value at. That's what I'm about. I'm not looking to have a requirement number of plays and give you something in each sport every day. I just want to win. And, I bet every game that I put out. And if I'm betting it, you're getting it. normally $99. Right now it's $69. That includes in this weekend, there's a big horse race as well, $1 million horse race where we get a rematch from last year's Kentucky Derby. Love to see some of the older horses still racing. Mystic Dan versus Sierra Leone. Good race. I'm probably going to have something involved in that as well. So grab a 7-day for $69. And today I will have a package up. I haven't finalized it yet, but we are looking at a couple baseball plays, and we may have one WNBA play.
Love it. Marco D'Angelo, football season's right around the corner. I know the research has begun, but there's still a lot of money to be made in WNBA and MLB. Thanks so much, Marco. Take advantage of that 7-day pass. Marco is a great handicapper to use it on, and continued success, Marco. All right, here we go. And yes, Sean, I wasn't acknowledging that Caitlin Clark was out because I was setting Marco up. We went over this in the chat. Like there's a big nugget on the game. You lob a grapefruit out there and you let your guest hit one out of the park with this amazing. All right, here we go. This is the game. We're going the Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers. Leave in the comment section after the show is over who's going to win between the Mariners and the Rangers. What's the correct score? If you get it right, you got a bunch of WagerTalk swag sent to you for free. Let's go. We're going to get a winner. We're going to get a winner. So this Duffel, the 7 days is $69. And the nice thing about that is you can use it on any handicapper. Start off with Marco. And if there's a day where he doesn't have any plays, you can use it on somebody else. You can use it on Marco every single day. You can use it on myself. You can use it on any handicapper. So this is discounted down over 30%. So it's normally $99 down to $69. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Do we get to dunk Kelly in a dunk tank if we win? I think once you get to 5, if all right, Dan, come on here. So,
I don't know if that's part of the WagerTalk swag bag. I don't know if the full dunk tank is included in that.
If you get one of them right, you get swag. If you get 3 of them, you get to come on the show. If you get 5 of them, Kelly goes in a dunk tank. If you get 10, you just own the company.
Yeah, honestly, with how it's going, Andy, I think that gauntlet is fine to throw down because it's now our 4th day going. Like, I don't think people realize how hard it is to actually name a score, right? You know what I mean? Like it's tough.
But we're going to get there. We've gotten really
get
close.
But if you think it's hard picking it in baseball, just wait until we do college football, name the scores. We're going to have to give away like free wager bucks for that. Like we have to raise the stakes. So Andy and I will put in a good word for you, but let's get a swag pack out to someone. Name the score in the Seattle Mariners and Texas Rangers game. Just drop it in the comments below when you're done. And while you're down there, say something nice or say something mean, but just comment, whatever you do.
Don't say something mean.
If you say something mean, make it mean about me. That's I can accept. I can accept it. Make it mean about me. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna wait and see if Andrew Babakitis joins us, but let's break down the Cincinnati Bengals here. Let us know what you think. The books have put the Cincinnati Bengals at 9.5. I'll go down some stats here. So Pro Football Focus ranked their offense 12th and their defense 21st last year. I got to be honest, 21st seems like a gift. That defense, I just remember that defense being so awful.
Bad.
Special teams was first. So if you're trying to build on something, you could say, our special teams is good. Off-season moves, not a lot, man. They brought some people back, but Samaje Perine is like the big offensive explosion.
The big piece. Yeah.
Listen, Burrow is. I gotta be honest. This Burrow wrist thing is becoming a concern. Is this permanent? The offensive line hasn't gotten any better, at least from what I can tell. This was a team that ended up 9-8 last year. Initial thoughts on this total here before we go to the schedule, because again, the schedule, you can't take a lot away from it, but you can certainly take some away from it. So we'll go over on that a second. What was your initial thoughts on this total?
Yeah, I think the crazy thing is when you're looking at this total is you would have thought last year, that the sky fell out or, the bottom fell out for this team. The crazy thing is 7 of their 8 losses last year were 1 score, Andy. So even with how bad that defense was, this team just always hung around. So if the ball bounces different, if that defense actually does muster up one stop here or there, you could have flipped the script and this team's 14-3. So I'm with you. Yes. I mean, I'm just saying 1 score games, Andy.
14
1 score games. If they win all those 1 score games, they have 14 wins.
Okay.
Obviously, okay, even cut them in half, Andy. Okay, so they win half of those games, right? You're looking at a different team who gets a playoff, who gets a bye. So this team isn't as bad as it seemed on paper. The one thing that I was kind of hoping when I was looking at the schedule was they finish, 3rd in the division, so maybe that gives them a 3rd place schedule. Doesn't feel like a 3rd place schedule. Okay, maybe out of the gate you have 2 easy games to start off, but this is not an easy schedule by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think Zach Taylor is a good coach. I think part of what's holding them back outside of the Burrow wrist injury is the fact that they just keep bringing this guy back. Is there a team that keeps a guy around longer than they should, than the Cincinnati Bengals, to just live in that mediocrity? It's a damn shame because it feels like the Super Bowl season is ancient history for this team. But if Joe Burrow's wrist is really a chronic issue, it's under. If it's not, it's over. I mean, this team goes how Joe Burrow goes. That's how, you end up with 7 1-score losses. It sure as hell wasn't the defense. What I will say, Andy, how I want to bet this team totals of the teams playing against them over, especially the bad teams. That's my little tip to you for Cincinnati Bengals. Week 1, I'm taking that team total over. When they play the Jags, I'm taking that team total over for the team against them. I think this defense is awful, and I think the way that they play offensively, airing it out, 1-score drives, one play scoring drives, it lends itself to overs. And do I want to play the inflated totals? No, I want to play the bad teams that everyone who thinks sucks. First quarter overs. So that's my tip to attack this team. But Andy, as far as the season total goes, I actually lean towards over that 9.5 because I think they're going to punch down in the division. They're going to beat up on the Browns. They're going to beat up on the Steelers and make it a 2-horse race against the Ravens. And you've seen the Ravens. It's not like they've absolutely dominated this division year in and year out. So I think this should be 10.5 truly. So give me the 9.5 over. I feel like you and I are going to blows on this one, but the team totals, betting this team over, that's the way that I'm going to be betting the Bengals. But as far as the lean goes, I think 9.5 is too low. I think the Bengals have a bounce back. Some of those games, the 1-score games, go their way this year. Give me the over.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at their schedule. At Browns to start off with, then Jags, at Vikings, at Broncos, then Lions, at Packers, Steelers on a short week. That's a bummer of a scheduling spot because the Steelers should be beatable for them, but to get them on a short week is a bummer. Then they go Jets, Bears. They have their bye week. They have a tough stretch here at Steelers, Patriots, at Ravens, at Bills. Ravens, Bills, Ravens is about as brutal as it gets there. At Dolphins, who knows what that team's going to look like. Then Cardinals and then Browns. That's a nice one to end the season. Predicting injuries is not easy to do unless you did it with Tyrese Halliburton. Back there.
Goat call.
Yeah, thank you.
Goat's going to go.
I'm terrified of this Joe Burrow wrist thing.
Yeah, that's the concern.
This is terrifying.
Because without Burrow, this team's dead.
They're dead in the water. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I see tough games. I'm with you that the 1-score games should revert back. I just cannot trust the health of Joe Burrow. For that reason and that reason only, I'm going with the under on this one. If Burrow misses a few games or if he's just not 100%, as you said, this team goes, but he does. And this is I think it's the cheapest team. They spend no money. They don't do anything to upgrade. The stories of when players leave about are just TJ Hushmanzada's story about how they would just throw their cups in after practice and they get them all washed together and then they just throw them out in a pile and you had to go get one. It's one of the most insane stories I've ever heard.
That is crazy.
But it's classic Bengals. Classic Bengals. Yeah, add in a bad defense. But you're right, man. You're right. The team totals,
especially early, because I think it's going to get adjusted. But like week 1, who is it? Roger Long pointed out a really good point. They're in Cleveland, and also that's where they play bad. You think that defense is going to play all that? Like there is nothing that excites me about this defense. Like there's nothing they did in the offseason that makes you say, oh, this will be better. What is it? The fact that they've completely blown, what they're doing with their edge rusher. He doesn't want to be there. So yeah, I think team total overs against bad teams are going to be some of my favorite wagers this year.
Let's do it. Let's concentrate on this team to go the defense.
Week 1, Andy, when you and I do like a little breakdown, probably heading into the weekend, Andy and I will do a little prop breakdown on NFL props, things like that. So put a little mark in it. We're coming for you, Bengals team total, or opponents of Bengals team total overs. We're coming for you.
Flacco's a starting quarterback, you better believe I'm taking his over 1.5 touchdown passes. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But for purposes of this one, Dan's gonna lean the over, Andy's gonna lean the under. So, do you have that?
All
chart
things
ready?
are back to normal, Andy. We're back to not agreeing on anything.
Do you have that chart ready?
I did. So I didn't throw it in there. I was scrambling a little bit. Well, I'll have it up for the end of the show. You're
good. Roger asked Flacco or Shador. It looks like Flacco. I don't think.
I think that's the plan.
I don't think they want to start Shador.
Yeah, I don't. I think the whole plan is like, why rush it along? Right? You know what I mean? You have 2 guys who have played in the league. I think you would probably see Pickett before you see Shador. I do think Shador plays games towards the end of the season. I think towards the end of the season, that's the plan is, get him up to speed. But why throw him to the Wolves? You know what I mean? It's going to be a walking circus. The problem is if he doesn't play early, Dion's going to start tweeting and then it's just going to be a super long headache of a saga. So just throw Flacco out there and get us this over to start it off.
All right. Well, thanks, Dan. And we'll show that graphic at the end where we stand with all these. Andrew Babakitis is joining us. We're going to talk UFC 317. But again, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and post in the comment section right after the show is over who's going to win between the Mariners and the Rangers, and what is the correct score? If you get it right, you get some free WagerTalk swag. All right, Andrew, how's everything going? How are the tickets and money coming in for UFC 317? Anything taking you guys off guard?
No, yeah, it's a super exciting card. A lot of really, reasonable money lines. I feel like a lot of playable spots on this card. So, yeah, the handle's been really good. We're coming off of a really solid week for the book. So, we're just trying to double down on that, on the winning and, have a good week this week with, like I said, a lot of, bettable fights. So I'm expecting very, very high handle on this card. Then we got a PFL today and slap fight, which I just put up, which is a little less exciting, but more fights, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet on Power Slap when it first came out. It was a cash cow. The books had no idea what they were doing, but now you guys know what you're doing. So the value has been gone. All right. Every week I run by a parlay. Get your thoughts. I'm doing a violence parlay this week here. So my first leg, I'm going to do 3 legs, and you'll know why I'm doing 3. I'm going to go to this Dariush Moicano fight. You get Dariush, who has been knocked out easily in the first round of his last 2 fights. The word is this is his retirement fight. Moicano's not a big striker, but he's very dangerous on the ground. He actually beat up St. Denis so bad that they had to stop the fight. And Moicano's got this hurt shoulder that he's been talking about. He can be knocked out as well. He's chinny. So I get a guy that may be retiring who's just gassed out and got finished in the first round. And then I got Moicano, who his ground game is good, but he's chinny as well. That's minus 150. I'm going to throw the Terrence McKinney-Borshishev fight to not go the distance. It's like minus 1,000, but it's Terrence McKinney fight. His fights don't even see the 3rd round, let alone the judges. He's all gas, no breaks. And then we got to throw the Nico Price, Jacoby Smith in there. This is just going to be a one-way traffic here. Nico Price is probably done. He's chinny. He's got no shot here. Smith is a animal, undefeated. That gets me plus 103 here. Obviously, the big one is the Dariush and Moicano. But what do you think of those 3 fights to not go the distance?
Yeah, I mean, it's not on the total, but we did get a really sharp bet on Dariush early in the week. So, that line's moved a lot. I mean, I know that's not tied into the total, but your breakdown of the total is pretty spot on. I mean, I was doing the method of victories on those fights, and it does seem like there's kind of a path to, a lot of different options. So a sub open, a knockout open for both of those guys who have, been, like you said, a little bit chinny. So I like it. The other 2, I'm not going to say they're locks, but they look really good.
All right. What's the action on the main and the co-main? What have you been seeing? Is it one-way traffic on Topuria, I'm guessing?
So we opened up Topuria like very early, right when they announced the fight. That price was minus 350. We got as high as 450. We're starting to get some real buyback on Charles Oliveira.
Okay.
There's some Oliveira supporters out there, and if you're looking at plus 350, I mean it's not it doesn't take that many long shots before that liability starts to add up. So at the end of the day, I'm assuming we're going to need Oliveira, but it's nice to see some Oliveira money early to kind of work with before the day of the fights when we're getting a majority of that public handle on Topuria.
I feel like in the MMA space, there is some support for Kai Kara France. Is that what you're seeing with the bets?
Yeah, we haven't had a significant amount of action on that fight, surprisingly, but the price has come down market wide a little bit. There's been a few fighters on that France side. I don't know. I don't know how you're looking at it. I think France has a shot. Pantoja's been doing this for a while. He's getting up there in age, and at a certain point, it kind of just falls off. So, who knows? Maybe this is the fight. We're gonna need one of these big plus money dogs to keep this winning streak alive at the book. So, yeah, I'm not sure what fight it's gonna be, but the book would love to get Kai Kara France for sure.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my take is Pantoja is getting older. There will be a spot to fade him, but right now they're just struggling to find him opponents. They brought in a guy from another organization last time. I mean, the division's so dried up that I think they're just putting guys in there that are not quite true title contenders. I could look like a moron, but whatever. All right, I got to ask you about the Hines, the operating engineer who from Minnesota, who's taking this fight on short notice against Denise. Weirdly, this is one of the fights I'm looking most forward to. I think it's a train wreck. Has anybody come in and bet anything big on this one? This screams that somebody knows something.
No, yeah, I think you're right. We opened this, and it seems like we kind of, I mean, I won't say it yet. It's not like a lock that we missed the price, but we opened this thing at minus 180 on Denise. We did get some very sharp early action on that side. So it's kind of just been one-way movement so far and not a lot of buyback on that dog. So we're sitting minus 330 now. So it's already moved over 100 cents. But
wow. Yeah,
it looks like that might be the side. That's
okay, all right.
What it looks like so far.
And for all of us MMA junkies, I'm going to guess Royval Van is going to be the fight that we're all looking the most forward to. I believe money's been coming in on Van. Are you going to need Royval in that one?
Yeah, man. This is probably, for me, it's the most, interesting fight because it's like I guess the Dariush one's a pick'em too, but this is like a straight pick'em fight. We opened up Royval minus 20. Right away, we got some Josh Van money from some respected guys. Which I was kind of surprised about. I really thought that Royval was going to, be a little favorite because he just has the experience. He's got the reach. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying I don't think Van is really good and he can be like a title contender, but this line is pretty surprising to me. And I know a couple of the guys in the back have the opinion that this one could end up looking a lot like the Fiziev fight last week where, there was a lot of steam on one side, and then, Fiziev ended up being the side. And, I might end up betting Royval. I like that side personally.
Yeah, before we let you go, we got a couple questions about boxing. You got any information that we should know about any of these boxing matches?
Yeah. Funny enough, we opened up that the Manny Pacquiao fight a while ago, and there's been so much handle on that fight. I know he's an older gentleman now, but yeah, we have a ton of liability on Manny Pacquiao. I think, let me check what price we opened up. We opened up Mario Barrios at $6. We're sitting minus 280 now. It's just been, handles of money coming through on Pacquiao. It's really surprising for me to see this. I mean, it's like the Jake Paul fight against Mike Tyson. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. And then obviously the Canelo versus Crawford fight. There's been very good handle on that one too. Early money was coming in on Crawford. But just today we took a really, really large bet on Canelo. So good two-way in that fight. Less two-way in the other one.
Love it. Love it. Well, Andrew, thank you for taking time out of your day. What do you guys have going on at WestGate these days?
We'll have the reduced juice on some of these fights tomorrow, which is, exciting because it's such a good card. And if you're looking to add a book, definitely stop by and, come watch the fights here. It's a great space to watch the games and fights. And, we're offering really fair limits and fair splits. So, yeah, if you're looking to add a book, this is a good one. And if you're looking for some information, follow me on X if you haven't. And I try to share as much content as I can. A little sneak peek behind the book. But as always, I appreciate you guys having me on. Lots of fun.
Love it. Andrew Babakitis from the WestGate. Thanks so much for taking time. That's going to do it for us on this Friday. Make sure you hit the like button and post in the comment section after the show what's the correct score of the Mariners and the Rangers. Winner gets some free swag. 5% PFL bet goes off tonight for myself and for my team and for clients. We also have a cricket best bet that is up. Do not forget about cricket. We've hit 5 of those in a row. Dan's got lacrosse plays up for clients, and we've got our big UFC pack. So big weekend of profits coming in for myself and for clients. So I invite you to jump on board, take advantage with that 7-day pass for only $69. All right, guys, to have a great weekend. Let's do it again Monday. Remember, protect your bankrolls, bet smart. Good luck on your bets, and take care.